In this video, I'm going to demonstrate relative and absolute cell references. This is the workbook from tutorial 3 that we're looking at, and as you can see, it's a budget worksheet, and it's the budget for the Drakes, Diane and Glenn, and you can see their monthly income figures here, and then you can see down here the expenses and monthly income have been broken down month by month. So our first task here is to get these figures down here. So I'm going to start out by clicking in cell C19 and entering a little formula that will help me transfer that information from D5 down to C19. So I start out with the equal sign, and then I'm going to click on cell D5, which is where Diane's monthly income is for the school year. And that's my formula, and then I'm just going to press enter. And I'm going to do the same thing for Glenn's income, equal D6, then I'm going to enter. Now I'm going to enter a formula to add those two amounts up, so I'm just going to type in equal and then C19 plus C20. I'm going to enter, and so I have the school year income figures entered. Now I need to get them from January into February through May and September through December. So I'm going to start out by selecting C19 through C21, and then I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to paste into D19 through G21. Okay, if we pause and look for a minute at this, you can see that there is something wrong with those formulas that I just used. So let's click in D19, and you'll see that in that cell it says equal E5 up here in the formula bar. And if I click in E19, it says equal F5 in the formula bar. And if we look at the worksheet, you can see that F5 is an empty cell. That's why there's a 0 down here. So my problem is that I've used a relative cell reference in these formulas, and what that means is that that cell reference is going to change to fit where I've put it in the spreadsheet, or relative to where I've put it in the spreadsheet. It's not going to remain fixed. And what I want is a cell reference that will remain fixed. So I'm going to undo my last action of pasting, and then I'm going to click on cell C19, and then I'm going to click up here in the formula bar behind the D5, and I'm going to tell Excel to make this an absolute cell reference, which is a cell reference that never changes. And to do that, I'm just going to press the F4 key on my keyboard. And you can see that it's added dollar signs into that formula. That's the code that tells Excel that this is an absolute cell reference. So I'm going to press enter and move down to cell C20, and then come back to the formula bar, click behind D6, and press the F4 key on the keyboard again to change the cell reference for Glenn's income to an absolute cell reference. Now that I've done that, I've done most of the work toward correcting that problem. I don't need to change the total formula because it's not impacted by the absolute cell references. So I'm going to go ahead and select C19 through C21 again. I'm going to click copy, and then I'm going to select D19 through G21 and paste. And then I'm also going to come over to September and select K19 through N21 and paste. So now I have all of the school year figures in. Now we need to get the summer figures added in. And so in cell H19, I'm going to start out with my equal sign and click on Diane's summer income in cell E5. Now I know that I need to make these absolute because I'm going to have to copy them into July and August. So after I click on E5, I'm just going to go ahead and press the F4 key on the keyboard. And then I'm going to come down to cell H20 and do the same thing for Glenn's summer income. And then I can actually copy this little formula that I did before over from cell G21. So now I've got the figures in for summer. I can select those three cells, H19 through H21. I can copy them, and then I'm going to paste them into July and August, which is I19 through J21. And I have the income portion of the detailed budget completed. So that's the difference between absolute and relative cell references. Relative cell references will change depending on where you paste them in the spreadsheet or copy them in the spreadsheet. Absolute cell references remain fixed. They never change.